we do Four Swords Adventures, which is different from Four Swords. One has adventures in the title. And then it's another existential crisis, but this is my favorite one because instead of having an existential crisis and then going to have to save the world from a moon, or having an existential crisis and hanging out with pirates, he just gets really into fashion in Triforce Heroes, which is what I plan to do in my midlife crisis. Tingle exists in actually 2 different timelines, and he also exists in every timeline because Tingle is the perfect evolution of humanity. He has, again, existential crisis. He finished beating Ganon. What does he do for the rest of his life? I'll tell you what he does. He go-karts, and he fights people for sport. Link's Awakening happens within Link's dream, so that means that Captain Rainbow might be happening within Crazy Tracy's dream. So it's very much like Inception, and that means that Joseph Gordon-Levitt exists in the Zelda timeline. That's a joke. Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't exist in any timeline. So what does he do? He decides to settle down, get a real job. And what can he do better than anyone else? That's right, he knows every location in every timeline. He gets his real estate license. He buys up every land, he consolidates every timeline, and pushes it all into one space. How does he do it? Legend of Zelda Monopoly. The most important Legend of Zelda game of all time. The one that makes Breath of the Wild make sense. Reggie, take fucking notes. I just saved your ass with Monopoly! My first reaction was, wow, this is an incredible amount of world building. It's amazing, and for that, I commend you, Bethesda. My second reaction to this was, what the fuck? Fun fact about academic books that I learned in college is that no one has ever enjoyed writing or reading an academic paper. Why'd you put it in a video game? Everyone knows that poetry and theater are meant to be seen and not read. And you have no idea how much it pains me that I do not have time to do stage readings of all these. Oh my god, I would have loved that! Now you might say, Brian, what gives you the right to say what is good fiction? I read all 338, you dingus! I need a drink. Who doesn't love a little erotic lizard fiction?
Ooh, come on, baby.
There is no way you can manage to maintain that level of erotic tension for 7 acts. That's like 5.5 hours. As a person who has done 1 or 2 plays in my life, that's just unfeasible, okay? I'd like to see them try. I would like to see them try.
Ooh, come on, baby.
Teaches you about all these wonderful forms of fiction. If you're a fiction teacher, like, teach your kids with Skyrim. Teach the kids with Skyrim. I got a creative writing degree. That's all I have to say about that. A lot of these robots were built to be sentient for the sake of being sentient, and I do not feel at all qualified to discuss the philosophical implications of that. Freezeman was built to make a non-polluting energy. He would make that energy by splitting average temperatures into hot temperatures and cold temperatures. I'm choosing to think of that as something like nuclear fission, as opposed to choosing to think of it as dumb. We've done some shit to bees, y'all. I'm gonna put Aquaman in front of Pumpman because Pumpman's flavor text explains that sometimes he'll volunteer to wash off graffiti, and no one likes a narc. Flame Man. He generates thermal power, but also he's powered by thermal power, which seems recursive and also impossible. Dive Man. He was built to catch fish with torpedoes. They made him look like a submarine, and they gave him torpedoes. Feel like they should have seen this coming. Top Man. I'll give you a guess about what he does. Did you guess explore other planets? Because yeah, that's what he was designed for. Why the fuck is he a top? Some of these robots were built specifically to murder. We can all agree that that is bad. Those were software built with the specific intention of being mean online, and that's just Twitter. Chemistry Man. He's from the new cartoon. He apparently taught chemistry classes that were so boring he put kids to sleep, and then he took it really personally and decided to become evil. Time Man. He's a time machine. That never goes well. Acid Man was built to be a chemist. What's he good for, titrations? That's a chemistry joke. Here's the big rule of thumb. Magicians are always evil. Bounce Man was built to be a crash test dummy. Some asshole thought, hey, you know that thing that we throw against a wall many miles per hour every single day, multiple times a day? You know what would make that better? If it could feel pain. What? That's it. All 200 plus Mega Man Robot Masters, of which 15 are kind of okay. Elon Musk, don't get any ideas. So it's time for us to revisit that ever-present question, should you read every book in Skyrim? No! How dare you jettison my gift! Don't read them! If you want to see me keep doing things like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button.